Why did you decide to go with a distribution-focused CRM instead of a general-purpose CRM?
Most distributors have thousands and thousands of SKUs. So we have 14,000 SKUs, 400 brands. And so we have a lot of data, and we have it across 4 warehouses. So, 14,000 SKUs times 4. So we have a lot of transactional data that now we can actually make meaningful selling points on, because Proton is taking all this data every night and then sending it back to us in a more meaningful format to allow our inside sales teams to sell against or make recommendations on e-commerce. So it's managing that massive amount of data that distributors have and getting it back to us in meaningful, actionable ways. That's a big difference with distributors and, say, a brand company. They just have their own, I don't know, maybe they have their own 200 SKUs or something, and they're just selling those, and it's a relatively simplified model. It's their stuff. Whereas a distributor, we're dealing with all these other people's things and this and that and all the stuff associated with it.
How has Proton impacted your sales efforts?
Well, yeah, they're selling more and they're making more. That really is what it comes down to. Our salespeople are 50% of their compensation comes from commissions. And so when we can give them tools to make more money, they like that. And so we've invested in this to give them those tools and that intelligence to close more sales and ultimately make more money for themselves and their families. And so it's been a positive experience for them, for sure.
With the CRM, sales reps have access to more information. How has the response been from your customers in getting more personalized interactions from reps?
I think some of them are initially intrigued by, oh, how did you know that kind of thing? But it's only been positive because the reps have meaningful information to help the retailers to say, hey, you haven't ordered this product in X amount of months. Is it because you're buying it from someone else because we call it a shared line? So you're buying it from another distributor, or did you forget to buy it, or is there some other issue? Do you need more kind of thing? And so it just helps create conversation that can convert into a sale. So that's great.
Tell me how having a CRM like Proton has affected your sales process from day to day.
Majority is a huge time saver. So something that we would have to do once a week because it took about an hour to pull the data. It takes me about 10 minutes, not even, every morning to log this information. I log it into an Excel file because I pull from a bunch of different units that we use that all reports into Proton as well. But it's just good for my knowledge. And then I have that Excel file I can share with my team. But yeah, majority of it is a time saver for sure. As a rep, I think is a completely different conversation. I think when you go in to use it as a rep every day, you can find out everything you've done ever with a customer, which I think is super helpful for them, but also like a success story we had. Last week, one of our inside sales reps was on vacation for a week and a half, and there was an email coming through that I needed to action right away. And I had no previous history of the customer. Went into the Proton, found step-by-step, like mid-conversation pretty much, of what was happening. And I was able to solve the issue without them or like delaying the process. So it was a perfect opportunity for Proton to kind of do what it does in the CRM way.
What role does Proton play in storing and transferring knowledge within your team?
So just my role in general switched from an inside sales rep to an inside sales manager. So all my accounts were turned over to the new replacement. And so they could go into any account and see any previous activity and know exactly what we spoke about, all the personal touches, previous products that we pitched, and why they were either a success or not a success. We utilized the documents tab. So if they had a marketing plan, I would drop it into the marketing plan. So then they had that information going forward and it was all in one place. So it was very beneficial to have not relationships already built, because obviously you're building your own relationships, but having that positive note or the negative note, or this customer is very remote, so they're treated a little bit differently, or there's just so many aspects that I think the new rep could utilize from those call notes that were already in there.